it, to slap it over into a Google sheet that I have so I can aggregate things for my internal newsletter and my company. Like it's
Okay.
giving me all of, like the inspo and the good stuff. So that's the next piece I'm working on, and I'll be happy to share that with everybody. But yeah, I love Miko. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yeah, I signed up for it like maybe a couple of weeks ago, but I was trying to figure out how to. Okay, so I just have to link it to my Gmail and it'll
Yeah.
just it knows which how does it just knows which
It
what things are
asks you, so you're going
newsletters?
to, yeah, you'll
Okay.
go through a process where it asks you. So I use it on my phone and use it on my desktop. I keep it saved in my favorites just because I go to it. It's just nice having everything in one place, like concentrate at one time, and then the little red dots. But it identifies things and it asks you, it'll say, we've discovered another thing. Click here to either keep it in your inbox or to bring it over to this side.
Okay, great. All right.
Yeah, super. Let me know how it goes.
Will, yes. Thank you so much.
Of course. Hi,
Hi,
Courtney.
everyone.
Sorry.
Um, Hi. So we have a bunch of new names that have joined. So welcome. Um, I love seeing your faces. If you guys want to come on video, you're welcome to. But really happy to see everyone here. Um, I'm Courtney. I started this 6 months ago today, by the way. Um, and um, and it started with just a few of us from World 50 who were really excited about tech and AI. And it's grown to a really good, awesome meeting. So yeah, Molly, I think, is going to kick us off today with like some reminders and and then I'll put a link to the agenda in the chat. And and that's it. Molly, you want to?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's well today. So I've got one reminder invitation and then two little fun things to share. We do so much with business and AI. I think there's some fun stuff that's always there. Maybe we need to, take a break and look at fun things too. So the first thing is a reminder invitation. So to kind of, as EAs and as admins, we're notoriously poor at tracking our own accomplishments and achievements and kind of how far we've grown. So I put in last week and Courtney shared it. It's a letter to future me. It's, you write a letter to yourself, you date it, and it comes back to you via email. You set a date and a time. And so the invitation is to write about your AI experience, like where you are now, and maybe make a couple of predictions about where you're going to be. Who knows? And then to date it September 29th, so that in the October 1st meeting of this, if anybody wants to share, good, bad, ugly, funny. It could just be an interesting way to, it's just everything's going so fast. It's just a neat way to kind of engage with it. Also, just to note, this is a piece of tech that I have used with my teams before. It's a great engagement piece. So if you just want to check it out and repurpose it on your own, it's fun when you're doing quarterly planning or predictions at the beginning of the year, just for a team engagement piece. So that's just a little side note. The other piece is I found and I did an AI tools challenge. It was 10 tools in 10 days. I have the link for it so that anybody who wants, and I'll drop it in the chat. I'll share my screen really quickly, what it looks like, so that you guys can see. Where is my, oh, there it is. Share. So you should be looking at the completed version of the Teams challenge. It's a group called AI Whisperer. He's really cool. You can find him and watch him on LinkedIn, but this is his community platform. He has a paid, obviously community. I do not belong to the paid community, but this is what I did down here is this tools challenge. And each day it takes you through a lesson, free pick, 11 labs, Opus Perplexity. So some of these I had heard of, some of these I had not. But what's really cool about it is it's lockstep. So you unlock, you complete, and then you get to go on to the next one. But when you click on this, for those who aren't necessarily confident or just want this in bite-sized pieces to get, you're acquainted with AI, it is really well done. I mean, they're really, who can benefit. It gives you use cases, getting started, all of the screenshots, like how to do it. It was really, really well done. Highly recommend it. I will share that with everybody. So that's that. Oh, and they do have a newsletter. That's how I found them, of course, because I'm the newsletter queen. So highly recommend the AI Whisper newsletter at the same time. Um, and you do not need to be a paid member of the community. So don't let them fool you if you think that's what it says. And then my last fun thing, I posted about it yesterday on LinkedIn. If anybody is not having fun with AI, this is a great way to get into it. It's called Pika. I had the most fun ever. I posted examples of the kind of crazy things that I've been doing. And kind of my use cases are obviously going to be for engagement, decks, things like that, but just being able to incorporate them. I'll show you just so you can kind of see. Hold on, can I make it big? How do I make it big? Oh, here you go. So I took a picture of my nephew and I Legoized him and then I squished him. So like think about, a boss's anniversary, for the people who have everything, you could make something really fun and creative, and add this to a deck or anything. This one's kind of wild and creepy all at the same time. You can put your childhood, that's me at 14. That's my 14-year-old class picture right there. It's so creepy. But you can put it in there and it's all kinds of craziness. And you can make yourself fly. You can blow up your dogs, just all kinds of things. And, if we're always thinking about AI from, kind of work, what can it do for me? This is the fun stuff that I just think we should also just keep in the back of our minds, because it's awesome. And that's all my shares today. Any questions before I hop off?
Don't hop off, stay.
No, 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 no. Hop off the mic.
I know, stay.
No, I'm staying.
I
I'm
know.
staying here.
That's awesome.
Yes. So I will drop this link. Any questions about anything I just reviewed? Did I go too fast? I sometimes do that. I'm sorry.
If you can post the link to that 10-day tool challenge, I will update the agenda.
Absolutely.
I've been trying to keep up, but that's the only one I didn't get the link to. Okay, thank you.
Dropped.
So I will update the agenda doc with that. And
That's all I got.
for 20 seconds while I do that. Okay, done. Thanks, Molly.
Of course.
I wanted to show you guys. So I keep telling you guys that EAwiz is coming soon, and it is. Molly actually helped me big time last night at like 10 o'clock at night, on that. So we're making whatever the word is, progress. But I wanted to show you guys this tool. So everyone wants to like charge for everything, right? And you know, like platforms like VimCal and EA, whatever the other one is, are great because they have really useful tools. But I thought I would create a free little thing. Hold on. So on the site, oh my God, I can't multitask. Hold on one second. It's gonna have, I'll put the link in the chat. That's not what the actual link is gonna be, but if you guys could just click on that. So it'll be, and this is free. And I still have to, mess with the template and stuff, but basically say your boss is Josh. Oh, I'm not sharing, am I? Hold on. Okay, so this is what I built. So say your boss is Josh, I'm Courtney. My time zone is Eastern, that's correct. I'm gonna be offering times for a 30-minute meeting. No, let's say a 60-minute meeting, a 60-minute meeting. So here I'm just gonna click and drag, like I know you guys have seen other tools that do this. So I'll say he's available 10 to 11, 12 to 1 this day, whatever. You just click his availability, right? And then there's 3 tabs at the top. So go to the next tab. and pick the time zones that you are offering to. So by default, it has my time zone. Then I'll say Pacific and Israel. So then if you click the next tab, which is email template, you can pick, and you customize this yourself, but standard availability. So down here, you can just copy and paste, or just at least the time zone is done for you. You can edit, you can obviously change the body of the email, but here you go. And then it's signed. I would add his last name down here. But it's just an easy way for you to offer availability. And then there's also follow-up availability, just a different template, and then urgent meeting request. And you can like tweak those templates however you want, but it'll be free. So, okay, now your turn. Tell me how much you love it. Anyone? Tell me someone will use it.
Okay, Courtney, I would totally use it. This is Janelle.
Hi, Janelle Butt.
Hey, but so I missed how I getting my executives availability. How is that linking to
Yeah.
Outlook or Google?
So it's not. So because so many of us have such high like security protocols and the chances like I don't like to do anything that has to link because chances are it's going to get turned down. If you work for a company that is all for that, like I'm jealous, but I've never worked for one that would allow it. So you would
Okay.
have to have his Outlook on a separate screen and just like look. So it's not like a complete fix, but it's still handy for when you're offering time zones, like for when you're offering availability. But yeah, it's not going to be linked with his calendar.
Okay, got it. Okay, I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd use it.
Yeah. So I'll have that. What else do I want to talk to you guys about?
So Courtney, I'm sorry, that's going to be available via EAwiz.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you want to use it in the meantime, you can use this little temporary link right here. I just like whipped this together this morning, and I would encourage you guys to, Lovable's great. Thanks, Molly, for introducing me to that. But you can you don't have to be a developer. You can create a tool. Like and it's all prompt based. Like, let me show you. Let me go to my Lovable account.
Hey, Courtney, it's Tess.
Hi.
Hey, actually, that's a good tool because then you don't have to go back and forth to World Time Buddy to see the conversion. It's already there.
Yeah.
Because I do that all the time. Like, okay, what time is it in Israel? And then +7 from the Eastern time. So
Oh, it's the worst.
yeah, absolutely.
So I haven't tested it. Like I know England like gains or loses an hour. I haven't tested it, so don't hold me to this. But
Right. But once you have that set up, would that adjust to daylight savings time
I
too?
think so. But we'll know when that happens.
All right. Okay.
We'll find out if
I am
someone shows
sure
up
for
an
now.
hour early to the meeting. So yeah, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I think it works. So I'll share my screen and show you like what Lovable is and how I created that. Like that seems really complicated to create, right? And no, not at all. So
Yeah, anybody who hasn't looked at Lovable, if you want to create or build anything, like this is nuts. Like it's so incredible. It's
you
nuts.
can literally build
Anything.
anything. So these are my little projects at the bottom, and it has a little thumbnail for each. So I just want to show you guys like the process on how I built that. So, okay, so last night, it was like midnight. I'm laying in bed. I said, create a tool for executive assistants to offer availability for their executives. So it'll build, you type what it is that you want, and it'll make you like a working like platform, a working like piece of software, basically. I said, so they gave me like something that it was like a drop down list. It said like 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And I was like, no, what if it's a 30-minute meeting? So you just go back and forth. And like my next instructions were, I love this. Instead of listing the slots, can you show a weekly calendar with time slots that can be clicked on to create the meeting times? Make it so 30-minute slots can be clicked. List times in a 12-hour format, not 24 hours, because who wants to like think about what time 20 is? allow the user to mark certain time zones as their favorites. And then I just kept going back and forth and kept making the changes. It, like with anything, like with my calendar audit that I made, you're going to get errors and you just fix it. You go back and you say what's wrong and what you want changed. And this literally took me 10 minutes this morning. And this is like, software companies sell this. It's crazy. So just know that like if there's something that you want to do, like you can do it yourself. Like Lovable's free. I think you get I pay for it just because I use it so often. But I think the free version, you get like 5 or something free prompts. And the secret to that is don't put like one request per prompt. Like if you notice, like my prompts were like, well, I don't do it so much anymore. But like when I first started, my prompts were like that long because I just put as much into it as I could. Or that was in my head at the time. And make those 5 prompts last by just really beefing them up, and you can make something really cool. And
And oh, I was going to say, Courtney, so what I did to kind of circumvent that
yeah.
is I went and had a conversation with ChatGPT and I said, I only have 5 prompts on
Ah,
this website. And if you turn on, the little globe thingy, it can look at the website so it can see your parameters that's constraining you to. And then I said, this is what I want to do. Get me there. And then I just copy and pasted.
that's so smart.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
didn't think that. Instead, I paid $20 and I'll have a panic attack when it hits my bank next month because I never keep track of anything. And you guys knew how many subscriptions, like Circle Back, I've never used it once. I just got charged for that because I sign up for these free trials, which by the way, I'm going to start using Circle Back because it's great. Molly's another tip from Molly. But Midjourney, like, why am I paying for that? And the problem with Midjourney is you have to like log in on Discord, and like I don't even know an account that I have on Discord, so now I'm just like doomed to pay $10 for the rest of my life a month. Anyway, what's
Hey,
next on
Courtney,
the agenda?
that's a really good tool. I just have a question. If I'm sharing it with other admins in my organization, do they have to also be able to access Lovable in order for them to see it?
The tool that I gave, that link
The
for the
the
tool that I
Lovable
already
one, yeah.
made, anyone can. Sorry.
Okay.
But if you want to create and like make your own app, then yeah, they would have no, because once you
And once
create,
you share the link, when you put it into
once you share the link, and I'll just show you real quick. I mean, once you publish what it created for you, you go up here, you say publish, and then it gives you a link. So you can just copy and paste that link. And then that's what I shared with you down here. Eventually, when EAwiz is like live and functional, I'll connect it to my domain and then it'll be like an actual page. But in the meantime, like this works. Like I'll be using it. I don't know, not that I schedule a ton of meetings anymore. It's so crazy going from Blackstone, where my bosses were from morning till night, like back to back to back meetings. And now the CEO here is like not a fan of meetings. So I hardly schedule meetings, which is like makes me very happy. But
Doing a happy dance for you, Courtney.
yeah, thanks.
Um, so
I'm doing a jealous dance. So
that part too, yeah, yeah, here. I'm wondering how many templates. So I wonder if we can add, well, I guess I could create my own and play with it, but I wonder how many different templates. So standard availability, follow-up availability,
You
urgent
do
meeting
as many as you
request.
want. You can
Oh,
make
nice.
them
And it'll
like
just kind of tell
to
them.
make it more like to make it prettier to look at. You can say list the templates in a drop down, like
Oh, yeah.
just so it's not like scattered all over the place, or too busy.
Mhm.
But if you have like templates that that you use in your situation, then yeah, make like you can do anything, anything.
Yeah.
And like if anyone has like something annoying at work. No, let me rephrase that. If anyone has like something that, that like takes up a lot of time at work and you want to like, and you don't know what you're asking for, you can throw it out here on any of these meetings. And like, we all love to play like, um, or a challenge. So, if you can't be bothered using, sorry, it's my boss, 1 second. If you can't be bothered you messing with Lovable, like if it's just too much of a headache, like bring your problem here and we'll, all give us a week to play with it and hopefully we can come up with something. But there hasn't been a problem that like we haven't been able to figure out something easier for. I'm gonna pause and respond to him really quick because I can't multitask. No. Okay. Next. I'm not sharing anymore, right? Let me go to the agenda and see what we have next. Did anyone sign up for the OpenAI free classes? There's like so many different ones that you can. Did you, Shaki? What one did you sign up for?
I did, I was, oh, it was a data analysis.
Oh,
So, yeah, I just looked at the preview. So yeah, I'm excited. I just like did it like, but I guess maybe I saw your post yesterday morning and I was on the train, on the way to work and I
Yeah.
just click, so I haven't even, started anything yet. But yeah, it looks really exciting.
yeah, Geraldine, as soon as she gets back. Okay, go ahead. Hi, Geraldine. What'd you sign up for?
So I'm totally brain fogged a little bit this morning and I can't remember the name of it, but it's one of those that kind of it starts with a C, if anybody can help me with the name of it, but it's one of those PowerPoint-esque type of platforms and it creates the decks for you and it's
Canva?
very
Canva.
Canva. Yes, thank you. I'm so sorry. My brain I have some personal stuff going on this morning. My brain's a little frazzled. I
I'm
do
sorry.
appreciate, but yes, I did do the Canva and it was really informative and I loved it and the way it uses. So Molly was doing the little intro this morning with different fun videos and stuff that you can create and you can implement those right into your decks. And Canva has a lot of AI that creates those. I've never played with Canva before, but it is mind-blowing of all the really cool things that and how you can make your decks fun and playful. And if you work for, I don't want to say a stuffy company, but if I come from the government background, and if you can't necessarily have fun, playful PowerPoints, then don't use Canva because you'll probably get in trouble and, like too many colors.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun and the videos and the colors and just the formatting. I had a blast going through the class.
Yeah, I
Canva.
did that too. I did it last week and it was live actually in LA when I watched the launch of new products. It's a complete suite also, just like Google and Microsoft, but a lot easier. And you have to subscribe obviously to use them, all the features. But it's great. As she said, it's a lot of colors. It's a lot of like lively colors and a lot more tools that you could use. It's very interesting. It does not apply to me because we don't use Canva at work. But personally, if you want to create your business cards, your, PowerPoint, but they call it Canva something. And it's awesome. It's awesome as a new tool. If you actually could use it at
We'll do
work.
a full session on Canva because it deserves that. So like let's
Yeah.
And
maybe
you can even do individual images. Like if you wanted to create just a photo just for yourself that then you take in and have it blown up and put on your wall. It doesn't have to be like a slide presentation, like a PowerPoint. Canva does a lot of really cool things. And the fun thing about Canva is you can just type in a prompt that says, I want to create a deck for, let's say you're doing QBRs or something, and AI creates a template for you, and then you just make the necessary changes. If you pre-upload your company's logo, it'll put that in there for you. And I just found it really, really fun.
Yeah, it also does with respect to Excel data. You can import your Excel data and then it'll create like different charts and stuff like that, which is really cool. And you can even so let's say I upload a picture of myself and I'm wearing, let's say, a blue top and I want to make it like look more professional. I could just put in the prompt. Sorry, my dog wants to join the call. And it can change it for you. So it's almost like a Photoshop too that you can do with it, which is really cool.
Thanks, Susie. Melody, did you have input?
Good afternoon, everybody. I actually just had a question and I didn't know if I should just ask it in a chat or I wasn't I've had some personal stuff over the last few weeks and just working through some issues with, family losses and stuff. And so I actually missed the last couple of calls. So is this discussion piggybacking on some discussions that you guys may have had in the last few calls?
Yeah, probably. We're, I was gonna say we, like giving you guys blame for this. I'm getting better at recording the sessions. If you look at the agenda, the last one, I included a replay for that one.
Okay.
And I'll try and until the site's live, I'll try and include at least like the last replay.
Just remind me and I can send that to you.
Okay. I apologize. Thank you.
No,
No.
and if anyone has a question, jump off of like 'cause I'm not great at monitoring the chat. I'm just going back right now, but always come off of mute and just jump in. Great
I
idea, by the way, on the subscription tracker for Lovable. Another one of my subscriptions is also Rocket Money, and I don't think I've logged into that once. I pay for that so that I can see what else I pay for. It's absurd. So yeah, that's a great idea. I'm going to play with that. Thanks. Um, did I just interrupt someone? Someone was going to say.
No. I think I was interrupting you. Sorry. This is Ariadne. I have a challenge. Maybe it's not a challenge. Maybe it exists already. So we're in the process of doing performance reviews, and it's a never-ending cycle where I work. And one of the problems I find is that, they use this kind of cookie cutter version for everyone. And I feel that for admins, especially, it's very hard for us to kind of put down what we do and how we should be benchmarked or measured. It's easier with an executive that has projects and they have to deliver on something because their bonuses usually depend on it. And I would like to go to HR and sort of say, this is what a performance appraisal for an executive assistant should be. This is how you should kind of look at it. This is what you should be measuring us against. And I don't know if there's a way to do that. I think one of the things that I do this with our ERG, I do this PINO and PDP because that's a performance development process. And it's really frustrating for them because it's like how many, every year I'm putting in the same things. I'm calendaring, I'm doing this, or I'm just, and it doesn't look like I do anything. And I'm wondering if there's a way of being more creative and tying things to sort of show how we're driving the business a bit more. But I just find it's really ineffective, at least in my company, the performance appraisal forms that we have to fill in and we have to kind of even setting goals because we have to set goals every fiscal year. And I mean, what could our goals be? What should they be, right? Especially if you're somebody that's not really looking to move away from your position. So unless somebody already has something at their job that works, I'd love some suggestions on what I'd like to go to HR with and challenge them on.
I
Okay.
have many thoughts around this. I'll just hop in here. So I did this a few jobs ago. So my context is a few large corporate. One, before you challenge anything, I did a full assessment of like what was everybody's JDs that they were hired against. And I kind of went and got all the data because you need to be able to back it up against something. So it's kind of get your foundation first, I would say. What are they using? Do you have OKRs? Do you have KPIs? Do you have an NPS score for an admin? Do you have kind of figure out what you already have and then based on that propose adjustments. They just take it a little bit better in my experience. But I'm looking at mine right now, and a lot of the things that became smaller KPIs were. So my exec, we sat down and we actually followed Jeremy Burroughs, the ideal work week. And so then the commitment was how well do I get him to adhere to that and have his calendar set to that? So that became one of our metrics for measurement. and we track that. Meeting prep quality, did he have everything before the meeting, 24 hours in advance? Was there an agenda? Were the attendees there? Were proxies added as needed? And were, minutes done, kind of like the full cycle? You can definitely measure that. That's a big one. Measuring how many events you've done, timelines, and also a big one for me was access and how people experienced me. Became a thing because so much of what we do is that interpersonal piece, and the EQ stuff. So those are, I mean, I could send you a list of things that I've done in the past. But also you just have to look at where they're at now, because if they don't have anything already put down that you can kind of go against, it's,
I think that's a little hard. I think we have two types of admins at Estee Lauder. We have the career admins, which is, as we're, especially with technology and AI, as our roles are developing within that title, that's one area. And then there's the other admins that are using it as a jumping off point into other areas or other sort of go up the corporate ladder. I like somebody had written something about focus on the impact, not the activities. And if I can find a way to succinctly put that on paper and give them, Estee Lauder has no template because, to be honest, we're more or less an afterthought, even though they would not be able to function without us. And they don't give us any thought, primarily because in their minds, we don't drive business. They don't see the impact. That's why I like that phrasing that we have, even if it's just our executives brainstorming or, thinking out loud. I mean, there has to be a better system to allow the admins to feel like there are benchmarks that they can strive and aspire to hitting, and then they can be measured and moved up or be rewarded fairly for it. And it's just not something that they think about for us. And as far as judging us, oh, not judging, but measuring us against the job description, we have admin. I mean, Estee Lauder, bless its heart, we're kind of living a little bit in the past here. Like we have admins that have been there for 30, 40 years since Estee was there. And so we don't really have anything as structured. I'm sure Blackstone does, which is where I also worked. But Estee Lauder doesn't have that. And I almost feel like it's an opportunity to actually, and we have a new HR person that's leading. So I'd love to be able to come to him with like, hey, here's an idea on how you can effectively get our admins to feel part of, the development curve and leading from every chair and blah, blah, blah. But this is how you should be really asking us at the end of the fiscal year how we're doing. This is how I think our performances should be judged. And I like that impact versus activities because it's so true. But how do you put that
Let
in
me
work?
interrupt you really quick, and we're going to walk through this together. We're going to do a quick little demo. Sorry to interrupt. I just
Oh my
wanted
gosh, I just saw the chat. Thank you.
So we're going to, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to use this as an opportunity so this is ChatGPT. I just basically asked it what your first question was. Give me a performance appraisal form for executive assistants for me to suggest to my HR department. Now, before we do this test, Ariadna, I just want to say, like, this is a great opportunity for you. Like everything that you just said, and I can't say this enough times. Like when you're driving to work in the morning, open ChatGPT, open the audio, the voice chat, and just say all that. I'm just gonna do a quick test. So I just got a question in the AI for admins meeting. Someone's wanting to talk about how to go about going to their HR person at work because they feel that, they have like kind of outdated appraisal forms and maybe not specific to executive assistants. They want advice on how to go about approaching HR with, whatever, right? You just ramble, get it all out, and then she'll come right back. Hey, great idea. And she'll speak everything. It's all recorded, but she'll work. I say she. ChatGPT will work that out with you. But let's get away from ChatGPT for 1 second. I just wrote that question in the chat. So here's ChatGPT's response. So that's cool. It gave me a performance appraisal form for executive assistants, right? But how does ChatGPT just, that was its answer. It just spit out an appraisal form. But how does it know? It hasn't even asked you like what your duties are, or it hasn't asked you about like your specific like company. So I'm gonna guess that EAwiz will. So if you don't know what EAwiz is, if this is your first time joining, it's a custom GPT that I created. Let me copy and paste this. I'm gonna put the same exact question into EAwiz. So EAwiz.com right now is where you can access this free GPT. You just have to be logged into your ChatGPT account. I think I'm Google. Am I? You just have to be logged into your ChatGPT account. But what the cool thing about EAwiz is, okay, so if you go to EAwiz.com, it takes you to this site. And this is still ChatGPT. It just has like hundreds of pages of instructions on the back end that tell ChatGPT how to respond to you. And so you can just ask it the question, or in this case, this is a perfect time to use. If you just started off by typing hashtag tools, I built a bunch of like guided processes for like anything HR. I mean, anything EA. I tried to include anything that we could possibly want to know, but instead of it just spitting out some generic answer, because all of our jobs are different, right? We all have different duties. Instead of it just spitting out some generic answer, it's going to ask you one question at a time. How many times have you used ChatGPT and it's like you ask it to give you a solution and it's like, okay, tell me, and it gives you like 6 questions to answer. And you're having to like scroll up and like, oh, what was that? What was the next thing it's asking me? And like, that's annoying, right? And so I just want to show you the difference. So the same question, we're going to do 2 things. I'm going to type the same question in EAwiz and see how it responds. Hopefully it responds differently. But then we're going to go to these specific ones, like you asked about goal setting. So I'm going to type hashtag goals in a second. Don't do it without me. So wait, here's the question that I thought I copied. Copy. And it's free. And why not use this? Because I promise you, it's so much better than ChatGPT. It still is useful, but it's targeted, it's made for executive assistants. So here's the question that I asked ChatGPT before. See, instead of just giving you some generic one that's not going to apply to you, I have it programmed to ask you specific questions one at a time that will help tailor the output to where it fits you and it's perfect for your needs. So that just worked out great. I'm so happy right now. So is this for a formal annual review? So, okay, let's say formal. It's not overloading you with 10 questions. It's going to ask you one question at a time. Next question. I love it. Okay. What do you want to evaluate? So here's what you could say. You could say all but, let's say all. All and also include something that you want it to measure, but you forgot to. Okay, what kind of rating scale? So I don't know, pick one. But do you love how it's giving you different options? It's not just assuming that's the style that you want. Like that's what ChatGPT does, and that's why this is better. And
Yes, I'm actually taking down notes, but I have a question. Is there a way of asking ChatGPT, how do I show impact versus how can I be measured against impact versus activities or something like that? Like if
you
it's
ask it
and
exactly
it's
that question.
nuanced?
Just ask it like that.
Just ask it that exact question. Anytime you have like something in your head, just
Mhm.
ask that. Like that's how you get it to be customized to, like for what you're needing, right? Otherwise, you're going to get some generic form. You know, LaShawn and Casey have 2 completely different jobs. And so like that one performance appraisal, like it's not going to be as effective if you both took that to HR and said, it's just a generic and I can guarantee you what I do in a day is vastly different than what Janelle does in a day, right? Like super important roles, but like we do different things, right? I'm sure you guys do a lot more, scheduling meetings. And so for me to have like an appraisal form that includes like um, as an OKR, like percentage of meetings that started on time. Well, like I'm scheduling like 2 meetings a month now. So like for what? You know what I'm saying? Like you've got those differences. So and you could go like, and if ever it asks you a question that you can't be bothered with, not this one, I'm just going to answer that one. But if there's one that like, if it asks you something that doesn't apply to you, you can always, and this applies to any of those tools that I created, you can just say skip. Um, And then it'll say, do you want it in a Word doc? Do you want it as a fillable PDF? Do you want it as a Notion table? Like what ChatGPT will never ask you all this. You have to know, hey, can you give me it in a Notion table? Which is that going to occur to any of us? No, unless you use Notion every day, maybe. But I wanted it to be as thorough as possible, which like it clearly is. And I'm really happy with it. So I really hope you guys use it. What was the other thing you said? About OKRs. I forget what I named that. Probably OKR, but let me just look anyway. So this is the list of tools. Anytime you put hashtag and then any of these tools, it's going to use that same format of like really narrowing down. So I think, okay, it's under KPI. But like there's a tool for anything here. If you have a spreadsheet that you want to like create an amazing dashboard for, go to type hashtag data visualization. But just promise me you guys will go to EAwiz and type hashtag tools and just read this list of tools because I swear you're going to find something that's really helpful and really can make a difference at your job. And like the reason I created this was all because of that calendar audit that I spent almost an entire year like learning code and like now if I were to go create like something like I don't know, just use this. I promise you'll get use out of it. So that's my spiel. It's not a spiel because it's free, but that's me bragging about that. Okay, what else? And then you could do OKRs, you could do anything. So and Ariana, you've asked questions before, like that I know you're like you're asking us for help, but like, and you're thinking that I think that you're thinking like, this is too long for me to, but like if you type out all of that, or if you don't feel like typing, if you say all of that to ChatGPT, it doesn't have to be super organized. It doesn't have to be brief. You can say, and if anyone uses the ChatGPT voice and you're finding that she's interrupting you or he's interrupting you and it's makes you want to punch it, like just do what I did. So this is what I did because it kept interrupting me and like wanting to do a recap. And I'm just like taking a breath, right? And it's like, got it. So I understand from what you've said, and I'm like, listen, stop interrupting me. I'm going to be pausing to gather my thoughts, but don't interrupt me. Don't jump in until I say the word done. And I found that that helps me because otherwise I was like losing my mind. Like she kept being like, okay, so I get it. What you've asked is how are like, and anyway, so do that. Say, don't interrupt me till I say done if you're using the voice. But if you're using the voice assistant, you can like everything that you just said, you can just say to it in one prompt and it'll like understand and it's great. It's great. It's great. So
Courtney, I learned that one from you. So whenever I pick up the audio on, even on Gemini, I've done it and on ChatGPT. So I always start with, do not interrupt me. I am going to do a brain dump. I'm going to talk about 12 different topics all at one time. And I want you to organize it, tease it out. It really is a great thought partner. And yes, Copilot can do that as well. But just let it know. Say, I am going to just boom, like diary of the mouth on you, throw up at the neck, and I need you to handle it all for me. And just it'll come back. It does it all for it. You could even say, put all my thoughts into a table, organize it in how you think I should prioritize it if I mentioned any time sensitivity. And it'll be like boop, 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 boop.
And but I know we have hands up and I just want to say one last thing. My like pro tip is always ask if I always refer to ChatGPT. That's just what I use, whatever it is that you're using. I always say, instead of saying my question, I always say my question, and then give me three options to choose from. Always ask for multiple versions. If you wanted to write a cover letter, say you're applying for a job, give me three to choose from. I guarantee that you're going to see like value in all three. And then you can say, okay, include this part and, or, you copy and paste them all and you merge it together yourself. But, there's so much value in asking for multiple options in the output because, and you'll see, you can even say like, give me one that's more professional, give me one that's, you can ask for 10 different options, whatever, but the more the merrier, I say. Give me the most data for the output and let me decide how I want to carve that out. Okay, Ilka, did you have something? Ilka, come on down. Ilka, let's come right back to you. Marlene, did you have something?
Yes, I put something in the chat. Sorry, my laptop's one spot, I'm
Oh, hi,
somewhere else.
Marlene. Hi.
So, I put something in the chat. So the person I work for, she does a lot of speaking engagements. And I had one a few months ago where she got an email, somebody's like, oh, I've ignored these conferences, but if you're speaking there, blah, 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 blah. And it ended up she wasn't speaking, and we told them to take her name down immediately, which they did. But this one, again, I got another email. Somebody was like wondering if it was a scam or not. And there's no association, like most conferences have some kind of professional association with them. And this one, the hotel booking has book reserve, but she's listed as a keynote speaker. She's not speaking at this. And so it's got me to thinking like it would be great if I've tried to do some basic prompts in Copilot. I did try ChatGPT to try and basically to poll to see if her name shows up in conferences. It's maybe too broad of a request, but I want to have it that we can do a comprehensive search so that if her name's being used wrong, like illegitimately, then I can basically go after people and say, take her name down. She's not speaking at this conference, and just kind of put people on notice. So I don't know if that's something that's feasible or if I'm just thinking too big picture.
So if I jumped in with an answer, it's going to be me guessing the best way to do that. But I would literally and by the way, I did see your LinkedIn message just this morning asking about that. What I would do is copy and paste just so you don't have to like speak all that again. Copy and paste that message and type that to ChatGPT. Like
Okay.
you're not necessarily asking it like what to do, you're just explaining the problem. And if it can't like do that search for you, it will give you solutions on,
Okay.
but maybe someone else has input. But again, if all else fails, just explain the problem to ChatGPT and let it, you can ramble and ramble and ramble. Not that you're rambling.
Okay.
No.
There's an app. I'm looking for it. I will as soon as I find it. I'm combing through my stuff. I haven't used it, but I did see there's an app for this.
Okay, perfect.
Molly's middle name is going to be there's an app for that medvein. So that's what I'm going to call her on EAwiz.
People laugh about the apps I have on my phone. They're not that interesting. These are much more interesting.
Yeah. Okay, Ilka, hi.
Hi, you guys. Sorry, I was having technical problems earlier. So just two feedback for Courtney. One, thank you, for explaining to us like how the EAwiz ChatGPT is giving us all those options like for Word or Notion, because that's a thing where you have all this knowledge, like a beginner wouldn't know to even ask that. So thank you for, providing that to us. I want to let you know, I really appreciate it. Second thing is for me personally, something that I would find very helpful and valuable in the EAwiz tool is like what you demonstrated to us earlier today. I was late to that, but the main thing that I want to let you know that I would love is templates. Easy templates that I can reuse and create like some kind of template library for myself. So like this email template with offering availability or, you know, that's a thing that I'm looking for in my day-to-day to help me streamline and become more efficient at work. So I just wanted to let you know that like that's something I personally would like for all different scenarios, meeting scheduling, whatever, following up, any kind of template I would find very valuable.
Who
Thank
doesn't
you.
love templates, right? Who doesn't love a good template from someone that's like put the work in and like made something? We've all made a template that like everyone else could use, right? But who doesn't love a good template that like fits your needs? So I made that one of the tools here. So if you go to tools, then you can see, I don't know, it's listed in one of resources and templates. So right here, templates. Resources is going to give you like websites for what you need, like for presentations, it'll suggest Canva, I'm guessing. But let's just see, because I created all these tools and I programmed them all, but to be honest, I haven't tried them all. So let's see what templates does, because I did make that a category. So am I sharing? Yeah. So again, because everything's different, my company's different than yours, like no matter what template you download, you're gonna have to tweak it somehow to fit you and your needs, right? There's gonna be some changes that are made. But with this, it will create a template for you. So it's still gonna require a little work just answering questions, but I want a template for budget for the Christmas party, let's say. Um, So who's using this? Just me or a team, whatever. Answer it how you want. Answer it how it fits what your need is. Okay. So I said budget for event planning specifically our holiday party. So then it confirmed, and now it's going to ask you more questions, and you just answer the question. So I know you're hoping to find like something that like someone already created that you can just like do a few edits on, but still like the templates will create something, then it'll give it to you in whatever form you want. I'm going to stop talking about EAwiz. I'm just saying. But it can, and then you can always say, here, I just want to show you one more test. So like, okay, include all of these, not that you need it to. And then once you have something, let's say you have a template that it gave you, can you give, and you think it's great, right? I always say, can you give me suggestions to make it better? Or like if you have a template that you already have that you use, upload that and say, take a look at this. How can I make this better? Like that's how I did the calendar audit. I had my script that was working that like people were like, asking me to train them on and how to make it work for their company. And I could have stopped there, but I went to ChatGPT and I was like, okay, you help me create this, analyze it and tell me how we can make it better, make suggestions, because I didn't know what else it could do. And turns out, like if for the Google version, like you guys, I had no idea, but it can like automatically email, like if you look at one of my LinkedIn posts that says, just don't call me out on it because I kind of put that project on pause, but it's about the calendar audit and like to celebrate the upcoming launch of EAwiz, here's the calendar audit that I'm currently working on. And then if you guys read all the features in that, you're going to be like, stop, how is that even possible? But it just takes a lot of programming and I put it on the back burner. But my point is, like it gives you all these categories, say these are all great, but like what if there's something else that you've forgotten for more categories? I don't know. For more categories. My goal is to make this as robust as possible. So I don't know what other categories I might want to add, but if I ask it to just make some more suggestions, I'm pretty sure that it's going to suggest something that I'm like, oh, shoot, I didn't even know I could do that. And that applies to anything that you're doing on ChatGPT. Like if you get an answer that you're happy with, like don't settle for that. Ask it like, what else can we do with this to make it even better? Like that's how you're going to really like wow people, or I mean, even if it's just yourself, it's how you're really going to like come up with something, really badass that's like going to save you time, but hopefully it's going to allow you to create something that's like, going to make a difference at your company, like that calendar audit did for me at Blackstone. Because how great is it that I was able to walk into my annual review and I said this before, but so often we support people that make those kind of like quantifiable contributions in their at work, right? Like we support the people that do that. But for me to have been able to go in and say, okay, I saved you 389 hours, like you do the math, you know your salary, figure out what that equates to in 1 year. And that's the value that I brought. Oh, but then we rolled it out to everyone at Blackstone Technology and Innovation. So figure what their salaries could be and what those hours equated to. That's a big hundreds of thousands of dollars. I wouldn't have been able to come up with anything that saved $10,000 on my own, let alone, hundreds of thousands. And so that's something that you walk into a performance review with to show your value, and there's just no limit to what you can do with ChatGPT or whatever you're using. Okay, I'm going to take a breath and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. But Ilka, you get the point. Like this will make a template for anything. And perfect time to mention. So with the website, phase 2, if you just want like a simple solution that you can download instantly, you can always ask people at your work, hey, do you have a template? But or Molly had a great suggestion, and it's something that we're going to be building into EAwiz, but it's going to be like a marketplace, right? Where say you have something that's mind-blowing, right? Like that you made, or just that's semi-useful and you think someone else would be able to use. Like sometimes you don't always have the time to dig in and go to ChatGPT and say, okay, this is what I want. Like you have to have 30 minutes, hour, whatever to devote to building something really cool. But what if someone else built something really cool already and you just want to download it? Well, if you have something like that, you're going to be able to like you'll clean it up, take your company logo off of it, and assuming you actually built it and you're not like stealing it from like your company, then you can list it for sale. You set the price, $5 for this template. Like, and people are going to see that and want a quick fix and they'll download it. It's a little side hustle for you. And I get a little cut of it and everyone wins. So, and Molly does too, because it was all her idea and it's genius. And so I don't know, that's going to be down the road. We'll have something like that. So
Love that. That's great.
yeah. So
Here, love it. Side gig, let's do it.
yeah, so start gathering your documents. What else is on my agenda? Oh, it's 1:30. Boo. Thanks, guys.
Courtney?
Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone. This was great.
Thanks.
So we have our first
Mark.
administrative professional day ever at the university where I work. And one of our roundtables is AI. Could I share EAwiz with my
Yes, please.
Okay.
Like right now, because I'm not like, that's the one thing that I suck at is like, I don't have a form that someone can just fill out to join. Like I have to manually add their email address to the invite. But I guess you could just share that. Like, does anyone join just by a link that someone shared with them? Or no,
The link I have is broken. Marlene C, I just dropped that. I don't know if you saw it in the chat just before you hop off. I just dropped what I did.
Oh, thanks.
No, I end up sending people to your LinkedIn and that's how they join.
Yeah, I don't know. When the website's live, there will be an easier way where you can just fill out a form. But in the meantime, if you can either send me the email address, it's so embarrassing that I don't have a better solution. But
it's not like you're at the beach all day long. I mean, you like have a whole job managing a team.
I try to.
But can we share eawiz.com with ChatGPT?
Oh,
for
you can
people to
share
try out?
that custom GPT with anybody.
Yeah.
You can find
Okay.
it yourself, like by searching custom GPTs on ChatGPT.
Okay.
But yeah, please share it because I think it's really useful. And
Yeah.
in the meantime, if anyone ever wants to join this until the website's live, which I swear to God, it'll be before what, May 15th, Molly, can we bank on that, I think?
That's what I'm going for. You have a few decisions to make today, but other than
Yeah,
that,
and anyway, so it's gonna be up soon, I promise. And then it'll have a proper form that you can fill out like any other big girl website has,
it'll
a
like
form
be
to fill out.
automated and you'll get
You
a
don't have to
calendar
say, here's my
invite.
email, Courtney, and go open the series and add it, but that's how it is for now.
Y'all are
Okay,
amazing. Thank you. This is
This
huge.
is so good. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
You're welcome. Thanks everyone for coming. Wait. Admin Day is 1 week from today, so we get to meet again on Admin Day. So happy I'll be able to see you guys. And then tomorrow, just a reminder that Imagine Admin event. It's a 3-day event where they have like little 5-minute speakers. I already went, thank God, got that over with.
You killed it.
Oh, thanks.
I should have.
But if you want to go, they have a bunch, it's like 12 speakers a day or something, little 5-minute clips, listen as you can. But the next session is tomorrow from 11:30 to 1:30.
Can you put the link in the chat? I don't know about
I don't have it to put in the chat, but I'll put it on the agenda and I'll link to the agenda one last time. But I'll update the agenda with the link to sign up. But it's basically the Beacon Institute Admin Day. Just search for that and you'll find it. But I will put it in the on the agenda.
I think you have to register too, then they send you the
Yeah,
invite.
you'll just have to do a free registration. Doesn't cost or anything. But I see a bunch of new faces here, and that makes me really happy. So thanks everyone that just is joining, and I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you come back.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Thank you
Thanks,
so
guys.
much.
Drop the link in the chat, Courtney.
Courtney,
Right.
do you have a few
Thanks,
minutes?
Molly.
Yeah, I have a few
everyone.
minutes, by the way, if someone just said that.
Yeah, that was me, Melody.
Hi, Melody. Yeah, I'll stay on. And in the meantime, I'm going to copy this link. Thank you, Erin, for posting that. But you should register because it's got cool speakers. And then at the end, they ask you to take a survey to see who was helpful and totally vote for me.
Did they record your session or have a replay for your session?
They do record them. Don't rewatch mine because I stuttered, but
You
they are
did.
recording them and they'll
I-
post them in like a week or
I
something.
wanna record it. So I wanna watch it so I can tell you
Yeah.
how awesome you are and actually mean it.
Thanks. So there's the link on the agenda for that, but you should sign up because there's some really cool speakers, all really good speakers. I mean, oh my God, and some of them are like born to speak, like they're like you just want to listen to them all day long.
Awesome.
Jealous of that, but okay. I will hang on for Melody. Was it that had a question?
Melody needs you, but do you have questions for me before I hop off? I sent you
Yes,
the
when can you
shape
visit?
through the stuff.
Oh, questions about that? No, I wasn't able to log in, like I said, though.
Right, I sent you an updated, I gave you the wrong password.
Haha, now I know your other password. Okay.
It's always I love Ed. So what else?
All right.
Ciao for
Thank
now.
you. I'll take a look at it right after.
Okay, bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, Melody.
So I have a question. Just, it's more personal, professional
Yeah.
question, just about how you have elevated your personal professional brand and, just kind of some of the things that you've done to step out and put yourself out there and how, I just want to pick your brain if you have a few minutes.
Yeah, I have a few minutes. Let's talk. I mean,
I'm curious as to like, when did you start? What was the progression? And like, yeah.
So just really quick, like, first of all, and if someone has stuff about like making your brand, like that'll give me tips. I'm not the best at it for sure, but
I did have some thoughts, but at the end, but I'll wait until you.
Yeah, so this all started with I created a calendar audit because of ChatGPT. I was working at Blackstone and I wasn't able to integrate any of these like third-party tools that would have created that for me. So I didn't know what to do. I just went to ChatGPT and I asked it. Long story short, it gave me a calendar audit and I was like, this is super useful. Anyone that has like strict security policies, like I want to share this with because no company will say no to this. It's going to get approved. Like no one's going to say, oh, you violated our security. So I wanted to just share it with as many people as I could. So like I had a LinkedIn that I never spoke on because I was like, whatever. I didn't think I had anything of value to say, but I just used it to like, connect with coworkers or whatever, but I started typing about it. People started asking me about it. Organizations started asking me to present. Like I am so uncomfortable talking to people. Like this has been such a huge help for me. Like when I was in high school, right? I took physics AP and our final project was to make a Rube Goldberg project. It's a Rube Goldberg machine where you start with like a washer and you have to get it to go from point A to point B just by using like pulleys and wedges, but you can't touch it. Anyway, I built it and it worked. But you had to present it like to the school. And I was so petrified that I said I didn't make it and I took the F and I failed physics that year because I was so scared to talk. So like first for a company to be coming to me and asking me to talk to their employees, like it's just insane. It's insane. But I was so excited about sharing that calendar script and I know the difference it made for me at Blackstone. And like I said, I'm not capable of coming up. Look how red I am right now. That's how nervous I get when I'm talking, even to you guys, like every week. But I just know that like what a difference AI made. And I wasn't capable of like creating something, like I said, that would have saved a company like it wouldn't have saved a lemonade stand $10, let alone Blackstone, right? But ChatGPT, just by having that dialogue, um, oh, it doesn't work. Angie, thank you for telling me. I will, like I said, I just whipped that together. I'll test it on all the time slots. No, it's not just you. I'm sure it doesn't work. I only tested it on the 30 minutes, but with anything, you just have to. I'll mess with the programming of it and I'll get it to work. Don't worry. Give it an hour and I'll have it working for all of them. I didn't even think to test it on the other time slots, but I'll get it working. So just save that bookmark and try it again in a little bit. But thank you for telling me. So as far as personal brand, no, I just, I started this because I love AI and I know other people do too. And so I started this AI for admin meeting. There were 4 people that came. And 6 months later, I have like 400 people who've asked to join. Each week we usually have like 60-ish. But that's okay. Like I learned something in this episode already, like that I didn't episode. I learned something in this meeting that every meeting I learned something. And so I wanted to be able to like archive that. Like if someone's just joining, like so that's how I thought of like creating the website. Turns out it's a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. So that's why there's a delay on it. But I just stay active on LinkedIn. I jump in, like I'm not afraid anymore to like give my opinion, like thinking, oh, people are going to think I'm stupid. I just jump in and it starts a dialogue. And I just try and be as helpful as possible. And like if there's something that like a question someone's asking, I jump in and I give, my answer. And like I went from like, I don't know, 300 followers. Now I have like 1,500 or something just by like, so that's my advice on like building a brand, but by no means am I, you know, uh, great at building a brand. I don't know anything. There's tools. There's a tool for everything. I know Jasper's great at like marketing. But I don't know, I just rambled. Did that answer?
No, you did. It answered my question, and I was just gonna, maybe drop this in your, in your back pocket to maybe think about, sharing your journey more because
Yeah.
you definitely have inspired me because
Oh,
I actually kind of had the same mindset. I used to struggle with public speaking so much that I would get like violently ill
yeah.
whenever I knew I had to stand up in front of people and actually speak in front of people. And it's been a long journey, and it's taken me what I feel like is way too long to get better at opening up and speaking in front of groups, like just even speaking on this call and being able to unmute myself and
Yeah.
put
That's
something.
how
It
I
just
was.
even like you see how I keep my camera off, like even typing in the group chat, like things like that. I still have a lot to get over, in doing that. Like you
Same.
said, when you have a desire to learn or help or contribute, it kind of overwhelms the desire to stay in your own little comfort zone. So you just kind of can't help yourself because you have a passion and
Yeah.
and a desire. So I think that's where I'm headed right now. And I think I've shared before. I'm in the process of transitioning jobs, so I'm looking to not only, be as proactive as I can during my job search and present myself, because I've been in this field for over 20 years. So I want to present myself as that knowledgeable professional, but at the same time, I want to brand myself. And I feel like that is the next step for me. Not just, but I don't want to just brand myself because it seems popular or because, other people are doing it. I'm just one of those persons that I'm just not going to do something because it's a trend, but I actually I want to contribute, and I feel really strongly about this area of and just this area that EAs, just like everybody that's on this call and yourself included. It's just even just with I can't pronounce her name, but her question about how to do a performance evaluation for or performance appraisal
I
for
still
someone
can't
in our
pronounce her
role.
name, and she's
Is
been
it
coming for months. I have a post-it that's on my other computer that spells out her name, so I know how. It's Ariadna.
Ariadne, yeah.
Ariadne. I have
Uh-huh.
a post-it literally that says how to pronounce it because I can't remember. But go ahead.
and I'm like, how is it that you work for a company that's about, women and empowering women, and you don't have a process in place for a role that's traditionally occupied by women to be properly
Those are sometimes the
evaluated.
worst.
You know what I mean? And
Those are
so,
sometimes the worst,
but
unfortunately.
that's just an example of
Yeah.
like why I feel so strongly about like this industry and this part and what we do. And I really wanted to say to her, but she was getting so much advice. I felt like what I had to say would either add to the what other people are saying or would probably just be like, okay, she has so much to sift through. But I just wanted to say, like, that's the biggest reason why we need, this group. We need this because, I've been saying for years, I don't just get coffee and schedule meetings, and
No.
that mindset is just, it's old, it's outdated, it's antiquated, and it's just far from what we do. So, I really, really have a passion not only just for this field, but also for marketing and branding. And I want to continue to grow that and feed that. And then the last part is I'm really in a place in my career and in my life where I don't want to wait for another job to recognize my value and to assign a value to what I am, what I do. I want to kind of put myself out there in a similar way that you have that says, hey, this is a good idea. I'm going to ride with it. I'm going to see if it resonates with people. And I determine where I
Yeah.
go. I
You
determine my
make
career.
yourself that strategic partner. We're not receptionist. We're not someone that just answers phone calls and books meetings, right? Nothing against receptionists. I'm just saying, like,
Nothing against it, but you've advanced toward that and you
right.
have more to
We've worked
contribute.
hard and we've worked hard to, build our career for, like, I started as a receptionist, right? I did
Me
mechanic
too.
salon, right? And that's
Yeah.
like, this is all I've ever done is administrative jobs. And this is all I ever want to do because, like, especially now with AI, like, there's no end to what we can come up with. But we all have it in ourselves now to make yourself. You can be the one to make that difference at your company, right? You can. Like, just by I just want to circle back real quick to branding. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen, but you were talking about branding. One of the tools on EAwiz.com is hashtag brand. That was one of the ones I built, or you can say hashtag content, I think. But do hashtag brand and see what that comes up with. It's going to ask you what your goals are, and just like really, I put so much work into it, you guys. Like, and I know it's going to be helpful for, like, I tried to include anything we could ever possibly want. But also, I sent you my phone number. Like, I'm East Coast. You can always text me, and, like, I'm
Okay.
always happy to connect. Like, after, my boyfriend's a firefighter. He's gone all the time. Like, he works 24-hour shifts. If ever you just want to, like, go back and forth on something, send me a text. Hey, are you available today? And I probably am because I have no life and don't know anyone in Miami. So send me a text anytime and we can
I'm in
connect.
Georgia. So
That's my next trip. I have a whole Airbnb wish list to go to. You'll have to give me tips. I want to stay somewhere in, like, a forest or something, like with trees and, like, I want to
that's
smell trees. So you'll
well
have
to
to send
talk
me
because that's a lot. I'm in the Atlanta area. Just what I mean there's a lot. It's like trees and forests everywhere, all over Atlanta. All over the state.
Yeah.
But I definitely would have some suggestions for you. But Yeah, I'll text you because
You text me anytime. Like, I'm happy
yeah,
to always connect. And if you have something in particular that you want to work on that you don't want to wait until Wednesday to throw out there, send me a text. And I'm always looking for like something new to like, figure out something with. We can work together and figure something out.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know you have a lot going on. We all are busy.
Yeah,
This
but I'm
this is
happy.
definitely
I love this stuff. I love it.
me too. And you
I
definitely
appreciate it too. I just want to
Yeah.
say real quick because I've probably been in the business longer than all. I've been an admin for 41 years.
oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
You look
like
amazing.
some of the
I
I
want to
stuff,
know.
put a
I know.
facelift.
so I've been when copy and pasting was literally cutting and pasting on top of something and typing over it again, right?
Right.
But you're right though, as far as like what Ariadne was talking about, having antiquated ideas about what we admins do, especially in the EA role. But at any point, it's like I'm I'm currently a contractor at Microsoft. I was at Nike last year when they had that massive layoff of everybody.
Yeah.
So that
Wow.
was great. But so I'm still kind of in between, regular roles because the pay is a whole nother issue that admins have to fight for that you can see ranges from 40,000 a year to 140,000 a
Hmm.
year. And
Yeah.
Like
why? And
why
why
am
do
I
you have to
so
justify that when, a living wage, when everybody else's wages go up, but I feel
and I'm
like our
supporting the
role,
people that make these strategic decisions that run
Mhm.
these companies and they're making 4 or 5 times my salary. You're
Yeah.
right.
And
That's
and
why you make
what's the
something that
and
adds
what's the
value. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because what's a challenge is that my main peeve about being an admin, and like you, Courtney, I've always wanted to be one. Like I saw 9 to 5 when I was in high school. I'm like, I want to do that job for some
Yeah.
reason, as crazy as that movie was. But yeah, I want to be a secretary and work downtown.
Minus the killing your
Um,
boss, but go ahead.
yeah, but yeah, right. But the my biggest peeve is that we in the admin profession, whatever level it is, our job, I mean, our salary in particular is so completely dependent upon how the company thinks and support staff is valuable and the level of the person that we work for. So I'm a person with 41 years experience, but that experience counts for nothing if I don't work for a C-suite type person for as far as my salary is concerned. What I know how to do as Joanna Tillman with this experience, if I'm working for a random assistant account executive, I can't command the salary that I deserve based on my experience. My salary is completely dependent upon what my boss makes. So you work for this level person, so this is the only amount of money you can make. Nobody else can do that. If you are an account executive in a company, you could go to any other company and command a certain range that you can expect across the board in any industry as a project manager or as an account director or as a senior director or something like that. You're going to get X amount of dollars. But we have to fight for our salary every time we have to look for another job. Don't even talk about getting raises and stuff. But I wish there was something more standard. Somebody posted something on LinkedIn yesterday that had the government standard for secretaries and administrative
I
assistants.
saw that, the word secretary. I was like,
Yeah, that the average, the standard is 46,000 a year. I'm like, in what decade was that?
yeah.
And
That was for
so
like a state job or something. Is that what it was? I didn't see it, but
yeah, it's a metric that most industries, if they want to say, hi, what should we pay this admin? This is average.
yeah.
So I mean, like at Nike, I was making 78,000.
Mm.
Okay. But there's places that I'm applying to regularly that are 20 and $30,000 more than that. What's the difference? It's not like Nike doesn't have any money.
Yeah.
And it's like even now like I said, I'm on a contract role and just full disclosure, I needed $38 an hour. I
Mhm.
told so I applied for this one, it was 35. And then I said, hey, you got the job, it's at 30. I'm like, no, I can't live off of 30. I still got to pay my rent.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe we can get up to 33, but we won't pay you for any time off. So I'm still $5 short of what I need. And now even when the office is closed, I don't get paid. So the person I report to said, don't worry about it because we're paying for you anyway. Just count it. So bless her. But this is where, it's very distressing that in every other role, it's looked upon. Get in there and you negotiate your salary and you do this. And all of our bosses do that. They're going, yeah, I make, I want 250K or I'm walking, and they'll get it. If I come in, could I please have 80,000 so I can pay my rent? Well, I don't know. That's too much for
Bonnie
you.
Low is. I'm sure you guys know Bonnie, right? Bonnie
Oh, yeah, she's the bomb. Yeah.
She's the best, but I think she just quoted percentages like something like, I don't know, 50 some percent of men negotiate, like they don't take the first offer. And like
Right.
only like less than 10%. I don't know the number.
Of women, yeah, absolutely.
Talk about this, but that's why it's so important. Like I'll admit, so when I knew I was going to be looking for a new role, and when I left Blackstone, and even with all of the confidence that I had, knowing what I had built and like what I'm going to bring to the next role, I was like, I'm going to negotiate, right? I went up from Blackstone, but I was sure, like I promised myself, whatever that offer is, because they say they give you an offer expecting you to counter. Right. So like that's the expectation. It's just me for like personally, I was always like, thank you so much. Thank you for the offer. I'll take it. Thanks. Bye.
Yes.
And like I wasn't going to do that with this last role. So I didn't. I was able to, I didn't get the salary up and I didn't get the annual up, but I was able to negotiate like a really nice professional development, which I haven't even used yet, but
oh, use it, girl. I'll take it away.
I know. It's really nice. And that's, I'm like, that was a start for me in the whole negotiation, right? So I'm glad I did that. But like, if we don't like, and Bonnie's always, I think it's Bonnie that always says, like, share what you make, like, it doesn't have to be taboo like it's been, you know what I mean? Like, the more people like know about like, where other people are at, this is being recorded, or else I would share it with you guys right now. But like, and I'm still not there yet, but like, if we make it like known, like what we're making, someone's
Oh,
always.
wait, you're still recording?
Oh, I mean, I'm not meaning to, but Zoom just automatically does.
I was like, oh, I was going to share this recording with my people at work, but now I don't.
Sorry.
I thought we were done with the meeting.
I know, I don't know how to stop it.
You just stop it.
I can
You just hit the stop button.
No, I don't have that. Like,
you don't have a paid account, a paid Zoom account?
No, it's my work account.
Well,
I can edit it. I'll edit this part.
You can edit it. Yeah,
if you could, that'd be great. Because I've already written to our our admin chat.
Oh, I guarantee.
Oh, you're gonna love this. I'll send you the recordings. Be bomb. But yeah, I don't want
to give you my word.
Be on there griping.
Not post this replay until I've edited out the after session. Deal? Maybe just the very beginning.
I'm curious about being, being women and doing that. But I think as a level as assistants is another level, male or female, is a challenge. Because I've worked with several male admins, and it's just the view of this role. It's not necessarily the male or female part of it. I think it is difficult for we as women often to ask for what we want, but I think that our role is so, I don't want to say looked down upon, but it's like, oh yeah, it's sort of extra. You just like, but who answers anybody's phone? I mean, I don't. Everybody uses cell phones now. I have to use my own phone for work, and it's not like when I started. Yes, it was typewriters. And yes, I had to, write notes by hand and read other people's handwriting and all of this sort of stuff. And it was a lot more hands-on. But as we're getting more automated, we do more project-related things. We have to be really judicious with calendaring. We have to do complicated travel arrangements and all that sort of stuff. And these are things that if our bosses had to do them, they wouldn't be able to do the things that they're paying them six figures for. So I think, to have a more elevated view of what an assistant in an organization does, more than to somebody's point says, yeah, we get X amount of dollars because we're not driving the business. We're not billable hours. We're not whatever sort of thing that is. It's not fair, and it's very distressing after you've been working a job for a long time. If you get laid off, oh, I've done this job 20 years and now you're laid off. Well, we'll pay you $20,000 a year.
Yeah.
Or we'll get somebody younger who can afford it because they're still living at home or whatever. You know, our experience doesn't pay us like it should.
And that's the reason that I feel strongly about moving forward with a personal branding
Mhm.
uh, goal and direction. And that's why I admire what Courtney's doing and so many others, because you are creating your own value in the general marketplace. You're not waiting for just your job to acknowledge and maybe see what you contribute, but she's out here. She's a speaker. She's creating content. She's creating all these different tools. Um, you know, pretty soon she'll be able to decide if she wants to work or not. And
Oh, imagine.
oh, I
Right? Then
see
you will
that
be on the
coming.
beach doing
I see
doing your
that
thing.
coming for you. I mean,
Oh,
it's
you
just
guys.
you're so innovative, so and you're inspiring others, and that's a big thing. Like people, especially in our world, we need to be inspired. So anyway,
And you guys
that's my
inspire me
piece.
too. Listen, if it wasn't for you guys showing up every week and sharing, tidbits and asking questions, like, because when you guys ask questions, like, I don't know the answer, but like, I'll work on it that week and then we all learn, right? Like, also, you look, Melody, I'm freaking out, and I'll send you a picture later if you text me. But you have the same face as my best friend who I lost like 2000. But it's crazy. Like you have the same mouth as her, and you remind me of her so much. So
That's
anyway,
sweet.
you guys, thanks so much for coming. I have
Thank
to
you.
leave at
Thank you so
2 o'clock for
much.
a
I'll see y'all
doctor's
next week.
I'll
appointment.
text you,
All
Courtney.
right,
I have a
back.
404 number, so
Okay.
that'll be me.
Okay,
Take care.
wait.
Don't
How do I
forget to
pronounce
edit.
your name? How do I pronounce your name? I'm sorry.
You, Anna.
You,
Anna.
Anna. That's
You,
another
Anna.
post-it for me. Okay, if I say it wrong next time, I'm sorry, but
No,
I'm
it's
gonna
like
write it down.
YOU and then or Anna. You, Anna.
You, Anna. Got
Yes.
it. Okay, thanks so much. I'm so
Thank
happy you
you.
came.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
Love it.